You got to think about how we probably look.
I know how stupid. I have like thrown full out fits outside, and knowing in the back of my head a neighbor could see me, and I can't help it. I can't.
I'm pretty sure my neighbors see me throwing shit.
Oh my Lord!
Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Jesse.
And it's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night. We haven't done a night podcast
What
in
is
a minute.
the Saturday Night Live thing? I was like, they say it's Saturday night.
And it's Saturday
night. Yeah.
Welcome to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live.
Dude, I haven't either.
It's been a 15 years.
Right. Well, like I don't know. There are funny people on it. Don't get me wrong. There have been.
I feel like they suck.
But now. I don't know. Like our era, my era at least had like Will Ferrell, that whole crew on it.
Oh, dude, you can't beat that.
It's really hard, watching.
You can't beat that. To be honest.
it's really hard. I mean, my childhood,
like Chris Kattan and all that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude,
they were a funny group. So
I loved when he was God, what was he? He would eat apples.
Yeah,
like a little monkey. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Like back. And he'd be like jumping on people and he'd be eating apples. That was like one of my. That was one of my favorite skits. I can't remember the name, but The Rock did it with him in a skit, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a good time.
They would jump on people and stuff.
Yeah, Will Ferrell. I actually had the DVD like set of him, the most like the funniest Will Ferrell clips or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty good. The one where he was in the hot tub with the lady's like lover or whatever.
Oh yeah.
His beard kept like
coming off. Yeah.
He actually broke character, which he almost never does, and he's laughing. He's just trying to stick it on and talking about the Welshly Arms or whatever the motel was called.
Yeah, I hadn't seen.
That was pretty good.
God, those were the best.
Do you remember when he was the fashion guy and he got Jeopardy. The little tiny phone?
Oh yeah, he flipped. Yeah. I love that one.
I'm going to Milan. So funny.
You can't even beat those guys no more, though.
It's hard. It would be very hard. I'm not saying that there's nobody that's been funny. I haven't watched enough of the new group to really know.
No, I think but I don't know. Maybe it's other people our age that are saying the same thing though too. So
yeah,
maybe this younger crew likes them or something.
I don't know. But Kenan Thompson, I mean, Kenan and Kel.
See, that was
there, right?
Yeah, Kenan and Kel. But I wasn't even. I was already older past them when they came, like when they were popular, like on Nickelodeon. So
yeah, okay.
I was already like at because I'm 42, so for me, I was already kind of past those guys. So
gotcha. I don't remember how old I was when they were big. I was at the older end because
they were already old.
Watched them a lot, but I remember seeing them. Yeah, I mean they were probably like 20 when that show was coming out.
Yeah, I think one of them he already had like a couple kids.
But hasn't
why he was doing that show?
Kenan been on SNL now for like at least 10 years or something.
Yeah, he's pretty funny,
like forever. But anyway, I haven't.
I think he's leaving though.
He might be. I mean, people don't tend to stay on all that long. But anyway, I'm with you. I haven't watched a whole lot of it, and I did think like. I personally, I don't like Trump a lot, but I did feel like they got a little too one-sided political.
Yeah.
In the humor that they chose to show. And at that point, it's like, I don't know, you either stay out of it or you try to be neutral a little bit, like whatever your feelings are.
But I mean, it's funny to make fun of him.
It's funny to make fun of him, but you got to kind of make fun of people on the other side too. Like,
I know, but they got any characters you could like really poke at?
There's
Biden.
Did they make fun of? Well, yeah, they did make fun of Biden. I
now
guess
they do.
That's true. So maybe it's fair. I don't know. There's just kind of like a point where I'm like,
there's a Biden one I see.
Yeah,
it's a YouTube one where I think they're I don't know if it's real. I don't think it's real, but they're like, oh, he's lost again.
No,
yeah, they're trying to point him to the right direction.
So there's a guy.
Oh, he just fell down the stairs.
There's a guy that. What's his name? Crap. He's on my brother showed me this guy. He does like the face recognition software that changes your face to people. Kyle Dunnigan is his name.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I've talked about him before, but he does a very funny he does the Fresh Prince of DC, which takes the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air concept and puts it into Biden.
Oh god.
It's funny. It's really it's really funny. The things he'll say and like, he'll get all confused and he's talking about nothing, but he's like all serious and
but it looks like him.
It looks like him because the face changes for it. And then it also, I mean, he sounds quite a bit like him. He does a really good Jeff Goldblum and a whole bunch of different people.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
It's pretty funny. Jeff Goldblum is a pretty cool, funny guy. And
I like him.
He's neat. He
was cool in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
The Fly.
I did not like the last Jurassic Park, I will say. Like, I felt like it kind of let down what I had built it up to be, but
I fell asleep.
I did like him in it. I did like him being back in it. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I kind of expected. You remember, was it the end of the second movie?
Did he die in that one?
I don't remember.
I'm telling you, I don't. But I think I fell asleep.
Remember, like the end of the second. I think it was the second Jurassic Park movie when they are like transporting some of the dinosaurs back, and then they get loose in like Los Angeles or whatever, and there's like a T-Rex in the backyard.
Yeah.
I was expecting something like that because they're like, we have to learn to live with them.
Right. And like, fucking Velociraptor.
That's what I'm thinking. Is like,
and shit.
We're going to see like the world getting destroyed by dinosaurs, and we didn't see that. So to me, what I built it up to, I was like, this is what we're watching? Okay. I don't know how other people felt. I mean, I don't want to just crap on it because
I actually didn't find that. I fell asleep.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't that. It didn't hold my interest. I felt.
Like, it was like too mellow almost or something. I don't know. I don't really remember. It's been a little too long, but I just know I wasn't.
Is that the one with the grasshoppers? Right?
Right? Green screened in grasshoppers instead of real dinosaurs.
No, I don't know. The last one, I think that they had grasshoppers. Like it was like locusts or some shit that
maybe. Like, it's locust DNA or something.
They did like and it was eating all the farms and shit.
Maybe.
I think.
No, I think is it that or am I thinking Interstellar again?
Interstellar does that.
I don't remember.
This one,
you might be right though.
Yeah, I am right.
Yeah, you must be right.
But
no, I don't know. Anyway, I've been just watching a crap ton of TV.
I know. We started watching Walker.
Yeah, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, the one with Jared Padalecki.
Please tell me George W. Bush is in that.
Not yet.
Is he the governor? That'd be so great.
Not yet. Well, I doubt they'll do it. It seems like an all right show.
Yeah. What's that on?
CW.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They do Supernatural and stuff.
Right.
So it has like it's Sam.
Right.
And then there's
Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, but it's funny because his dad in that one is actually his grandpa.
Oh,
at one point in
Supernatural,
the
bald guy.
Yeah,
really,
that's his dad in the show Walker.
Oh, cool.
Like, look at that. They're all keeping all these.
See that
they keep everybody.
I wonder if they're going to bring back Chuck Norris.
I hope so, dude.
United Healthcare. Have you seen their commercial with Chuck Norris? Maybe it's old. I don't know.
Is it?
I don't want to give props to an insurance company because, like,
I don't know. I just shared this one where it's like
maybe that's where I saw it.
These old men are saying,
yeah. Oh, that cracked me up. I was like, all right, United Healthcare, you got me there. That was funny. Yeah, they like went and had lunch with Chuck Norris, and they're telling Chuck Norris jokes, and then he kicks the crap out of him
with the salt.
I had lunch with Chuck Norris. Oh man, that was great.
Yeah, I love good Chuck Norris.
So you did see it because you showed me.
Yeah, it's funny. No, Chuck Norris memes and stuff. I don't know why I find those so hilarious. Great.
Well, some of them in that commercial,
they're so dumb, but they're funny to me.
Well, like when Chuck Norris swims in the ocean, the sharks get out or something. Yeah. Like sharks swim away from him or some crap. Like I can't even say them. They can be like so simplistically.
They were like awesome. A rattlesnake bit Chuck Norris, and 3 days later it died. You
know? The sun, or Chuck Norris shines on the sun. Things like that. Like,
and I don't know why, because he's so badass.
He really. I mean, you know,
but he is a karate
he has
champion,
like black belt in karate or some kind of. Maybe it's not necessarily karate.
He fought Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he didn't he defeat Bruce Lee? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I'll have to ask
how my
brother-in-law. Luis knows everything about Chuck Norris.
No, Chuck Norris is pretty good.
So I was watching my cousin. There's a couple shows that she told me about that I'll mention today. There's one on Apple Plus TV called Severance. I don't know if you've heard of it. Adam Scott. You know who Adam Scott is?
Name sounds familiar.
So you would know him if you saw him. He's the brother in Step Brothers, like kind of the dick brother in Step Brothers with the kids that sing. Yeah. So he is in that show, and it's a trippy show. It's one like
this ain't him.
The basic premise is like you can have a surgery that splits your mind so that when you're at work, you only know work, and when you're at home, you only know home, right? And just the whole thing, you're trying to figure it out. There's things that happen, and it like.
So you guys got Apple TV?
We did the trial, and I don't know, maybe we're just keeping it, maybe we're not. It's kind of up to her, but yeah, we had the trial.
But there's some shows on there that I want to see.
There are some, and like all these things, it's kind of turning into cable TV. You're like, I want this package for this one thing, and I want like it's hard, but no, for that show. So we watched that, so we'll decide if we want to keep it or not based on what else is on.
How is it?
It was really good. I mean, it's one of those shows, like it's a little slow in the beginning, and it's like kind of different.
Yeah.
So like you could start it, like we started it and then didn't finish it, but then we went back to it.
Yeah, I've done that with
just
shows.
Binged the crap out of it. It was good.
It's like, okay, we're committing.
Yeah, like you stick with it, and like
there's a couple of shows like that we watch where it's like, okay, we got to stick these 2 episodes out.
Yeah, and then you get through it, and it's like, man, you're just flying. The other one that I watched that's on Paramount Plus, it's really interesting. It's called The Offer, and it's a drama. Like it's fake, I guess, but it's at least based on the story of the producer of the Godfather movie.
Okay,
so it shows sort of like the Hollywood way that he had to work his ass off to get that movie even made. Like from almost like absolutely unlikely that it would ever get made to having it done. And we've only seen a couple of the episodes, but it's pretty crazy because like I like the mafia stuff a lot.
Oh yeah, dude, the mafia stuff's the best. I was just talking to Sadia about mafia stuff.
Yeah.
But go ahead, sorry.
No, that's all good. So there's like, I mean, I really am so curious what parts of the show are just cinematic, just for the point of the story.
Yeah.
And what parts are like legitimately historical truth, because they take real mob history, which I know a decent enough about. And that's like a part of the storyline. And I could totally see that being true.
Yeah.
I could totally see it being just for the sake of the show. So now I'm just super curious about it.
You know what I end up doing? I do this in all these shows I watch that are like stuff that I'm trying to figure out if it's real or not. I start Googling.
Oh, yeah.
I will be as Googling. I'm watching the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm going to wait till the end of it. But I mean, it's cool. I mean, they show how like, Francis Ford Coppola was the director.
Yeah.
And so Mario Puzo was the writer. And then he ended up writing.
He wrote a lot of.
Yeah.
Like.
So The Godfather was, I guess, at least according to the show, like his breakout book, which I'm not surprised because it's really the only one I've heard
too.
of. It's a hefty book. Yeah.
It is.
So maybe I'll have to read it now because it's different than the screenplay.
I want to say it's like.
But yeah.
It's like an 800-page book or some shit like that.
I read it. And it was one of the longer books I've ever read, and it was around 1,000 pages.
So JJ grabbed a book, and kid you not, you know what? Oh, it was Love and War and something. War and Peace. JJ grabs like that book.
Historical.
Yes.
What's his name? Chofsky or whatever?
I don't know. It was War and Peace, right? We were at Goodwill looking at books because he likes to read. But he grabbed that one because he thought it looks like a cool book. I'm like,
has he read it?
No, we've seen how thick it was. Well, he didn't.
It's a cool book. I've started it, but it was kind of like those
like
TV shows. I start reading it, and I'm like, okay, I'll pick it up later.
Right? It's like 1,000+ pages.
Who wrote War and Peace? Hang on, I know this, but my brain's not bringing it up. Let's see, War and Peace. Talking about Googling something. Yeah, Leo Tolstoy. There it is, not Chofsky.
Sound like a Russian.
Chofsky. I think it was Leroy Chofsky wrote that book. Leo Tolstoy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I was like, no. I mean, if you want, like you can, but look how small these words are.
Yeah. The words are big. The font's tiny. Yeah.
Oh, tiniest font, dude. It was one. Yeah. 1 point font.
It's an interesting story, right? Because I think it's supposed to be about like the sort of like people that don't have a chance. Like, what are they supposed to do but crime? But then you punish them for the crime, and so I don't know. Morally, I hear it's a very intense book. So it's pretty hefty for 6-year-old.
Yeah, no, he ended up not. He saw a book because he's been reading like chapter books. So he saw a book that he just finished by that same author.
Oh, okay.
He recognized her name.
Nice.
Oh, that's Kate, Summers. Like, this is another one of her books. Yes. I wanted that one.
I only read classic literature there, father.
Yeah, Dickens.
Will you give me some tea? I would like to read my Dickens alone, sir. I would not put it past JJ to want to sit in the bathrobe with a cup of tea and read some Charles Dickens.
Later in life, I can see my son
maybe smoking a pipe.
I can see him doing
something
weird.
Father.
Yeah, well, I'll catch him. Like, I caught him reading today, and he had his legs a little crossed up, and he's just chilling reading.
Nice.
I was like,
Elliot, I don't think will ever like reading that much. He'll do it. He's got a couple books. He likes books from YouTube. Everything in this kid's life is YouTube based. So he found a Piggy book that was like a real legit, like not just a graphic novel.
Yeah. We found some like Roblox.
Yeah.
Or no, it was like a FNAF or
okay.
The Five Nights at Freddy's stuff.
Right. Yeah, I got those.
I got JJ some of those because it's like little graphic novels,
right?
Which, you got to introduce kids to graphic novels, people.
Yeah, Elliot loves them because there's not a ton of words.
I mean, you got comics and some cool literature out of those that have good stories.
Yeah,
I mean, it ain't no Dickens and stuff, but
I do really like reading A Christmas Story.
Never read it.
Dickens. It's great. If you've watched any of the movies or whatever. I've read it and watched so many adaptations of it that like I like to just see like, okay, this one really like hit this part of the story, or this one really, of course they always go over the same things.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the story, like one of the ones that was actually better done as true to the book was that cartoon that Jim Carrey did.
Oh, the Scrooge one?
Yeah.
We just watched that.
Did you?
Literally,
I've only watched it
last
once,
week.
But most movies don't show that scene with the train in his house.
Yeah.
Where he's like going to his room and then the train comes.
Dude, that was a trippy movie.
Actually in the book. Like
he did, he voiced every single one of the ghosts.
Oh yeah? I could see that.
I didn't know.
He's
like I tell you, dude, I started Googling stuff.
Jim Carrey, it's funny because as like funny as he is, there's a really like serious kind of darker side to him too. So he can do some depth. But this shouldn't be too surprising. I mean,
well, yeah.
Lots of like great comedians are that way, but
yeah, I think Steve Carell actually can do that too.
Steve Carell's super funny
because he's so funny, but he can also like he can play a serious part. Really,
do you remember that
really
movie
well.
He was in? What was that movie called? Where his wife had died, and he went to the beach. He took his kid to the.
Is that Little Miss Sunshine?
No, not.
Have you watched that?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Such a good movie.
Was he in Little Miss Sunshine?
Yeah, I think he was the dad.
Okay. Yeah, I just remember the grandpa being on like heroin or something and dying.
Yeah, and they were carrying him around.
I mean, heroin's not funny, people. Like, don't do drugs.
It was so funny though.
What was this movie called? I just remember he was a dad, and his wife had died, and he was like pretty depressed, and he went to a town. I think it was like on the beach or something, and he like met a lady. And he kind of like fell for her, but he wasn't going to go for her. And then somehow they met up, and I don't know. Anyway, good movie. Whatever it was called, good movie. Yeah. Don't bring something up unless you know the title.
Now I want to know Steve Carell movies, but it'll be like
people.
A list.
Google it. Steve Carell movie. He drove a Volvo in it. My Love Opened the Door was a song that played in it.
Right.
And then the last thing I'll bring up, which I saved for the end of my little spiel on shows, my brother and my cousin had both been telling me about this documentary, I guess you'd say, show on Netflix by Jonah Hill about his therapist, this guy Phil Stutz.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I really want to watch that because I've talked about feeling happy, feeling not happy, all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt after the holidays like I need to pick me up. Maybe that would be a good show to watch. And it did not disappoint. It was great. I liked it a lot. So this therapist, he and Jonah Hill obviously are close enough that Jonah Hill wanted to make a show with him or about him.
Yeah.
And he's this older guy that's done therapy for years, and he's dealing with his own life issues. and he's like pretty candid about things he's going through personally. And he just has some really good tools. He calls them tools to help you get through adversity in your life. And I really like, my takeaway from the show was to stop looking at these things as a problem or as a negative thing. And look at it as a positive part of like a journey.
Yeah, really, that's kind of what I was just saying about my job.
Yeah,
like how I hate my job.
Like to enjoy the road trip of that life. So I went out and I bought the book, and you'll see it right here if you watch on
the tools
YouTube. There we go. For those of you that can't see it, it's called The Tools. 5 tools to help you find courage, creativity, and willpower, and inspire you to live life in forward motion, by Phil Stutz and Barry Mickles, I think.
Yeah.
Dr. Oz said it blew his mind. If you don't like Dr. Oz,
I'm like,
I know. I was like,
Dr. Oz.
We might want to take that off the front of the book, but
Dr. Oz sells. I see him always trying to sell pills.
Yeah, pills.
Garcino Camboa.
He likes that shit he was trying to make at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
But it had some pretty good stuff, huh?
I haven't read the book yet. I read the first chapter, which just really introduces the authors. But yeah, I wanted to buy the book because when he explains, and I really recommend people watch, and I'm not a therapist. What do I know? But for me,
you know what you know.
The tools, the points that he made, they made sense, and they were simple, and they seem like, I think a lot of times if it's not practical or easy, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And his seemed to be pretty straightforward concepts that you could probably hold on to and use.
I'll have to check it out.
And I have a real tendency to get kind of down and then spiral in that.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. And I think like this has specifically things about that to try to kind of pull yourself out of it. He talks a lot about gratitude and finding gratitude in life.
That's funny because that's like literally what I'm like thinking about with my job, because I hate my job, right? I'm always saying I hate my job. But I was just telling Tom too, like I was like, well, I hate my job, but I need to stop saying that because it's like it's this negative,
kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
if I'm going to say I hate my job so much, I'm literally going to just hate my job. So I need to start looking at it like, hey, I got a job. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Have that gratitude and be grateful
about,
for that shit.
Finding that thing that's good about it. Like find the one positive thing. And he talks about pearls, and he says throughout your day or your week or whatever to make pearls. And these pearls are tasks or activities that you accomplish.
Yeah.
And he's like, it doesn't matter if it's making your bed or winning an award at work. Like no matter the size, they're all the same value. All these pearls are the same value. And he's like, you get in the habit of these tasks and these things, and they kind of propel you forward.
Yeah.
So instead of being focused on the what ifs or the whatevers, you're actually actively going for something, which I thought was really interesting.
That's a good way to look at stuff.
It's really about
kind of tricks your mind, really.
Yeah, right. It's like tricking you into looking at life almost like maybe a game. I don't know. I don't want to misquote how he would say it, and I haven't read the book yet.
Yeah. But I mean, that's really how you perceived what he said. You know what I mean? That could
kind of reflecting back on it now, I could say it that way, because a game is a little more like fun, entertaining, active, and life often turns into these feelings of
makes sense.
Sort of out of control feelings, I guess, and trying to harness that, and not always like trying to control it. Sometimes just like accepting the feeling that it is, and learning from it. He talks a lot about adversity and like how adversity can be such a strong tool in your life for growth.
Yeah.
And so, like
sounds like I need to listen to him.
Well, for your point, like with work, I like my job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like it is a purpose. But there were a few weeks in this time frame where I've been a little more stressed, the holiday thing.
Oh no. Yeah.
And I just, where I've been feeling like I've been, for the last year, I'd been really like trying to be growth oriented and like do better than I did the day before and all that. And I just kind of hit this point of I was still working hard at it, but like I just kind of had that moment of doubt or whatever. Yeah. Like, can I do this forever? Is this what it is? And I've kind of taken a step back to breathe and to think about it and to be like, it is like true when I put myself into looking at it as improving and building something.
Yeah.
It does become more fun to do the work, you know?
Yeah, cool. Well, because like you say, you got this purpose, you got this
Right.
like something kind of driving you to
right, and it
want to do it. So it's
hard,
like you know, it's a good feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really can be. I mean, when you feel like you fail at anything, it doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean,
great,
but when you can
like,
trick your mind into
you know,
being like, okay, this is kind of a fun task.
Yeah, like setting some goals
yeah.
and looking at like, okay, what are areas that aren't great? What can I do to improve it? And I think the hardest part is when you don't know how to improve something.
Yeah, that's where I get stuck with like work. There's certain things where I'm good at certain areas and I'm not so good in other areas. You know, I'm not a disciplined. I hate that kind of stuff. I hate when I have to deal with that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I can find myself
avoiding
it in some type of way.
Right.
Instead of like,
I can't say that I'd be any better, honestly.
Instead of like making it like a goal. Okay, you got to change this because you can't. You need to do this because it's obviously not a good pattern that's showing up.
Right.
You know. And so that's like my goal for me.
I got you.
In that sense is to let's just work on.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Let's be a little more stern.
Let's be more assertive.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it is.
Instead of saying sorry,
thing.
I need this, be like, you know what? I need this now.
Right. I should have had this yesterday.
Yeah. You know, I got to be a little bit of an asshole
with that. Some people are very comfortable with that.
I'm not comfortable.
I wouldn't even tell the kid my haircut sucks. Like,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, so I get it. And there are days where I'm better, where I can approach that more and be like, no, this is, and where my issue is,
it is funny. Yeah.
I don't know if you're this way too, but like, and I think it's kind of maybe a passive aggressive thing is like, I have a really hard time saying something until I feel like someone has directly insulted me.
Oh, for
sure. The moment where it's like in my face, they're just being rude to me, I can snap so hard.
Well, me and my stepdaughter, we've been bumping heads because of kind of in that sense that it's like that because I am very chill for the most part, but then when something seems like kind of out of hand or for me or rude or whatever,
right?
Like I have that tendency to like just say, hey,
from nothing to 1,000.
Yeah. And that's something like for me, I'm trying to work on that. Like, okay, like you said, like that that feeling, you just take it as that's a feeling,
right? Instead
of like,
so
you can breathe for a second.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to do because what's the point?
I know. Well, because initially it feels good. I'm not going to lie. Like to blow up about something feels kind of good at first.
Like I blew up the other day and I felt actually bad about it.
Right.
Because it was uncalled for.
But there's like a physical, at least for me, there's like a physical, not even joy. It's just like a release sort of my go-to is to swear and throw a little tantrum essentially.
You got to think about how we probably look.
I know how stupid. I have like thrown full out fits outside and knowing in the back of my head a neighbor could see me and I can't help it. I can't.
I'm pretty sure my neighbors see me throwing shit.
Oh my Lord.
All annoyed.
God, I just feel, I was like today, I had one moment.
But then you think those guys are saying, I do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, Tom's dealing with it again. Fight the good fight, buddy. So today I got home and we did some stuff this morning. Elliot had basketball again. He started that up, which I was really relieved because he actually liked it. I was worried that it was getting to that age where it was going to get a little too hard. And he's not a very aggressive kid. Anyway, whole other story. But we got back from that, went and met Blanca for a bit to do the dog thing at the dog event.
Oh yeah.
We foster dogs, and so there was an event. And then we left early. I took Elliot to buy a video game, and then we came home. So I was home early. Blanca was still at the event. And I noticed that in the windstorm a while back, the tarp over the boat had blown off.
Oh,
we as buddies, we bought a little John.
We got a little boat. We haven't used it.
We haven't used it once. Our license plate,
no. We used it once.
We used it once. But the battery didn't work, so we couldn't actually get it to go anywhere.
Do we got a battery that works?
No, but we do, but not specifically for the boat.
I think I want to buy a bigger motor for it.
So we could.
That's a whole nother story.
But anyway, so I was like, shit, it's been raining for how long? So I went to look. There's no plug in that boat. It's just like a plastic shell. It was like halfway filled with water.
Oh shit!
It's like, oh god.
At least it didn't get ice.
And so, I mean, it had ice at one time, I think, but it was warm enough, luckily now. But I went through that phase, and I talked to Blanc about it later because reading this book then, even though I didn't talk about it, just got me kind of like in that headspace to think through it. And I'm like, I think what happens is something stresses me out, and I start thinking about it, and I go to the worst case scenario.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The boat's going to fill with water. It's going to get stagnant and stale. It's going to rot out the bottom of the boat. The boat's going to be garbage, and this whole thing is going to be trash. And that becomes a metaphor.
I might as well just throw this in the garbage.
Well, it becomes a metaphor for everything. And then it becomes a metaphor for myself.
I'm just trash.
I mean, I'm not kidding. And I don't think that logically. But the subconscious or somewhere in there's that, because my rage in those moments can be at that level of just like,
I totally get what you're saying.
So I kept myself relatively calm because like the water was pouring onto my shoes when I was trying to drain it out. And I'm just like, oh, of course, my shoes all wet. And it's like so mad. And then, but generally speaking, I did much better than I've done other times. And then Blanca and I on the way to you guys tonight, because we went, took all the kids skating.
Oh yeah, that was.
I pissed her off because I didn't help put all the dogs away. I didn't realize I needed to, but I was supposed to.
Before
and I shouldn't need to be asked.
Yeah,
she's right. I shouldn't need to be asked to help.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just was one of those times. And I was able to actually, because I have a really hard time keeping my mouth shut. I start thinking like, that's not fair. No, because blah, blah, blah. And I can't help myself. I have to speak.
I'm terrible. I'm that way usually.
I just like kept my mouth shut and just listened, which I think this is the first time I've ever actually been able to do that. It was over in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, about 3 minutes in, she goes, thanks for just listening. Like, oh, fuck. Okay. All right.
Sometimes that's all you got to do.
It's so hard to do, but I can see how that would get easier if over time you're just like, oh, we never argue because you just bitch.
Me and Alicia, like, we don't argue. We'll have little spats, just like you and Blanca. Same thing. But we don't ever have like major like arguments. Like a lot of times she'll say something, and so I've over life learned to just okay, like I can listen. But there is times where my mouth.
You've been a better man than me because
there's times where my mouth gets me in trouble because I'm just like, because I'll do that, like I'll just because I'm already hyped up.
Right. Me too.
And so I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say, but I've learned to be like, okay,
right. So an interesting point.
I've learned to walk away because she's good with me walking away sometimes, and us coming back together.
Blanca would not be. That's one area where that doesn't work for us because Blanca will follow me instead, which doesn't always work.
I mean, sometimes that has to go both ways. I think.
But that's one thing that this talks about, apparently. And now I've kind of forgot the point. But you brought something up, and I thought, fairness, the idea of fairness. He's like, so much of us, we want fair. We want everything fair. And we get caught on it. And whether it be something from our childhood, and he doesn't really dwell on things from your childhood or anything like that. But like, he just says, you got to learn to just let fair go. It doesn't exist. It never will. So you're going to hold on to things forever because it wasn't fair versus letting it go and not letting it have power on you. It's deeper than that. There's more to it than
that. No. But you just you saying that, I mean, that makes
but he's like the concept of fairness itself.
Yeah.
Is something that our ego, I'm going to say, I guess, holds on to. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We need to get Rich on here.
No, because
have him talk.
No, because like you said, you get to these, you start expecting everything to be fair and everything. And so
when we think about work, like,
and that something does go wrong, it's like you just
that wasn't
hit
fair.
on it and you just dwell on it and you can't let it go instead of just sometimes just like, hey, you know what?
Right.
Whatever. What am I going to do now? It's already done.
That's why you need tools, and tools will get you through. I don't know.
It's weird because there's things in my life that I've done that too, not knowing that, not knowing the tools, just knowing whatever.
Right.
What I can't change. It is what it is.
Right. Well, isn't that like the serenity prayer? Isn't that part of that? Like when people become get clean, the serenity prayer is God give me the strength to change the things I can, and to accept the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. You think about that, like that's whether it's God or not God, like that's a deep thought.
It is.
That's a powerful thought. Like what's more perfect than that? The ability to see where you can make change.
Yeah.
See where you can't
what you want to do,
and to actively know which is which. If you can actually do that, like, but our brains are really good liars to us, I think.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
So, but that's like in relationships too. Like if you're always looking for it to be fair, because that's my problem. I really do have a problem with this like feeling of this innate fairness, which is so stupid because I'm sure I haven't been fair to everybody in my life. But like, with your spouse, especially, it's like you've got
that because you expect there to be a level of fairness with your spouse.
And I mean, there generally there actually is, but I'm saying like in the sense of an argument, it's always like, you do this or you do this, and it's like, well, you do this or you do this, which doesn't help. It doesn't actually help de-escalate anything. But you or you're
just more mad for hours.
But it's all because of the fact that you're getting attacked and you feel it's unfair that you're being attacked because they also have these flaws. It's like, well, logically thinking through it, telling them of their flaws when they're already mad at you is probably not going to get everything, but it's so hard when you feel that frustration to like be smart.
Why are you attacking me?
To stop. I mean, I was not happy in the car. Like it wasn't easy to sit there but it was over so fast that I was like at the end of it, I'm like, okay, that was actually nice.
Sometimes it's a hard thing to do, to bite your lip sometimes.
It is.
To bite your tongue.
And I've never been able to do it that long. The sexy bite. That stops her every time.
You should try it one day.
Anytime my wife is mad, I sexy bite my lip.
Right.
Nope, never worked. Never worked one time, but...
Bro, argument over, they're laughing.
Never thought to try that, honestly. She just thinks I have an overbite.
You idiot. They'd laugh and then call us idiots.
That is true. That's probably the truth. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, man, probably.
I don't know. That sounds cool though. Like I'm gonna have to check that out because
it was just the uplifting thing I needed at that time. And I'm not saying uplifting like the whole thing was just like, oh, like there was a lot. There was a lot of like
good, like you got some good things. out of it,
there was a lot of depth in it. Like the doctor talks about things from his life, and Jonah kind of talks about things from his life, and it's just interesting. I don't know. It's like well done. He's vulnerable in it, which I love because I think that's part of kind of our thing is
a vulnerability,
being vulnerable, talking about things like mental health, talking about trying to be, an overall better person every day. And that's
it's like something we're working on.
I mean, actively. I feel like what he did in the movie is what we would do in the movie. Like it's funny. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to blow it, but like just you got to watch it.
So is it just is it like a series?
It's just one episode. It's like an hour, maybe an hour 30 minutes.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
But it's like it's fast and it's like it's very, for lack of a better word, sweet. Like to see him in this relationship with his therapist, and he's been through a lot. I remember a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he first lost weight?
Yeah, it was years ago.
And they made the point that he had lost weight.
You were funnier when you were fat.
And yes.
Yeah.
And I thought. Even back then, I'm like, and I think we have all felt that, like, you get sort of put in this box as a person.
Yeah.
And we put ourselves in a box as people of like our identity kind of becomes its own thing. And when you try to change it, that's a hard thing.
It's
like
very
that's where
hard.
I think self-sabotage comes in because it's really scary to be somebody.
I'm too dumb. I can't do that.
Well, think about this. I mean? Like, you and I have both lost some weight, and you've been in better shape before, probably more so than I have. But my head, my internal view of myself is always pretty an overweight, tall, lanky guy. If that can exist, that's what I am. Has been primarily a heavy in certain areas, lanky, tall guy. Yeah, sexy. I know. I bite my lip and it's over. Yeah. But you know, when you're comfortable with that, you know how to deal with situations in that.
Yeah, for sure.
When you change that, even though generally things are better, it brings on different social interactions that I at least haven't always felt as comfortable or known how to deal with as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, you can kind of see how people would get caught in traps when they're trying to better their lives.
Oh yeah.
You know, trying to be better people, or, you know, change, like, again, exercising or dieting.
Well, because you're changing it, like, you know, like we've said before, the whole habit thing.
Right.
You're trying to change a habit that you've done for, you know, who knows how long.
Well, I feel like in the beginning, you're just working on the physical side. So you just, you know, like you're getting all like the dopamine rushes from exercising, and you're feeling the fat shed off, and you're seeing that you're looking better. And then you kind of hit that mental wall of, you know, I've gone back and forth through like, I'm not going to get too into this, to like, nope, I want to get jacked, to like, you know, and then you look at yourself. One day you feel like you're buffing up, and then the next day you look and you think that you're just scrawny.
Yeah.
And like your whole view of what you look like can change. And at the end of the day, none of that really matters. But I think it is, to me, it seems like it's almost like the insecurity of yourself, of like trying to figure out like the you within all of this, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
It makes sense though.
Anyway, that's
you're like, I don't know.
So anyway, I needed to watch something uplifting, and
well, no, I mean, it does make sense, because you get, you know, like you said, you see this fat coming off, and then you get to a wall where you don't see that change anymore. So now you start getting self-doubt, and then you start, is it worth it? What's the point?
Right?
You know, like,
well, I had a guy at work, and very nice, and I really actually appreciated it, because it was like genuinely just a kind thing to do. But it made me feel kind of like, am I too skinny? Like, what's going? Which I'm not. But I've dropped a lot of weight this year. I mean, I've dropped like 50 pounds from the time this year started. So if you don't know why,
50 pounds in 7 days.
Not quite. Like
no,
5 months, 4 months.
Well, well, I lost 40. I'm at 170, so it's
that's the thing though. Like at the same time, we both started getting in like better shape. But like, so this guy at work, again, like super cool. I love that he did this, because it was super nice, and he like meant the best thing by it. And it didn't. I don't know. I don't want to overstate that, but anyway, he like, we kind of ran into each other in the hallway, and he's like, "Hey, how are things going?" I'm like, "Oh, good." And he's like, "Man, it's like, is everything okay?" I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "Well," he's like, "You're like an onion. Like these layers just keep coming off." He's like, "You're okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." And I kind of explained, like, I found out that things were not going the right way, and I
was you concerned like you were like a druggie or something?
No, he was afraid I was sick. I think he thought I had like an illness or something. Maybe he thought I was a druggie. I don't know. That you asked. I take that back. You're not. No, he is a great guy. So I know that he meant it.
No,
like,
you're cool.
But
like,
I was like, in that moment, I was like, am I too like emaciating my like,
bro? You know what's crazy is I see you skinny, but I don't see you like.
I'm like, not that skinny. I think what it really is that he just doesn't.
Yeah. No, he was concerned.
Going from what I was to what I am now, and I don't know. Like my body is one that held the weight a certain way, so like my arms always look skinnier, but my body, you know,
I got you.
So I get a gut, I definitely
and
get
a fat
the
face.
point. You know, and so I do honestly appreciate the fact that he would talk to me about that. And it's like, that's actually a very kind thing to do.
It is. You don't get that
but
a lot,
it's funny,
actually.
like I realized how fragile my self is, and this whole experience of trying to do this and trying to do it forever. Like I'm really trying not to do this just
it's a
now.
lifestyle change.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
it has to be, because if I don't keep doing this, and it doesn't mean I don't eat a burger here or there, I don't go to the movies.
Oh, dude.
Like, I mean, I'm constantly doing things that aren't like super healthy. But
well, like, yeah, I'm at 171 to about 173, but I'm not eating like I used to, obviously, but I'm still eating like, there's certain things I'll still.
Right.
We had pizza, so I got, have me slice of pizza.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm about the same, like 208 to 211, which to me is great.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I'm not looking to lose more weight, but it's like I do still have fat on my body. And I'm just lanky.
You know what I do? I look at what I don't look at what I still got left.
Right.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, babe. I was lifting earlier today. I was like, babe. It's like, God damn. So
Why? It's so stupid.
I go, this mirror. Look, just the way I go. If I squint like this, I look so buff.
So on the other side of this wall is my gym, and down the hall is the bathroom. And I have to go from lifting here, because you always look best right after you've lifted.
Oh, you're glistening.
And
dude.
So I go from in here to like walk down. I'm breathing hard. And I walk down the little hallway and look in the mirror like an idiot. If somebody were taping me, I'd look so fucking stupid.
Who cares?
But I think most of us do it.
Everyone does it.
But the thing that drives me nuts is I'm one of those guys, like, to get jacked, I'm going to have to eat a shit ton of protein.
Well, because protein will help.
I'm just a slender person. So,
yeah. Well, like okay. the way
of the day,
my eating is I eat a lot of protein.
Yeah.
Because, I'm trying to lose weight because I'm doing the intermittent fasting. So,
right.
It's a lot of protein and, it's.
Yeah, I've been like back.
I'm not trying to get like. But
no, I don't want to get like.
I want to get a little definition. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't want to be lifting weights day in and day out and look like I don't do anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I want to see something.
Yeah, like I don't care to be. I'm not going to be like a movie star. That's not what I'm going for. But
be your own movie star.
But somebody looking at me like, that guy works out. Would be nice. Not like I think that guy's got cancer. That's not the look I'm going for. But
what's your GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It's anyway, for that guy, if he ever does listen to this, don't worry. It did not offend me in any way.
Yeah,
it's not anything.
It was
like
actually that's like a really nice.
I think it's genuinely one of the coolest things anyone's ever done, because it's like
there's like a concern
honest, like. That's like a friend, that's like somebody that genuinely cares about you. So I thought that was really cool. But
yeah, hey man,
it's just funny like that. I'm doing this stuff and I've pretty well met my goal, whatever my original goal was, because I was never going to lift at all anyway. I was just going to like basically get myself in decent shape. And then I'm like, through exercise and things, I'm finding that my mobility is better. Like I'm getting more flexible. There's just a lot of benefits in it. And that's kind of more the driving force. And then it's also just a good repetitive pattern to keep me in a healthy place, in a positive place. And so I don't ever want to quit, but it's like, it's not just as like straightforward as you might think.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm only exercising 3 to 4 times a week. I'm not doing like every single day like I was.
Right.
But I'm feeling good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it does make you feel better, but like mentally I'm noticing it's not a point A to point B.
No, it isn't.
And I really thought it kind of would be on one level. And on another level, I didn't, because we kind of talked about like earlier hitting, roadblocks and things. So I wasn't like stupid about it.
I think that, that just makes you stronger though, when you hit those roadblocks and you're able to like overcome them.
I think too.
And you don't let it like deter you from what you're actually trying to accomplish. And so like to do that, I mean, that takes a lot of strength, and that I think it's okay to hit those roadblocks.
I think so too.
And sometimes you got to look at that.
It's going to happen. Well, I think too, like I'm a relatively, or at least I have been, impulsive person. I'm not in the sense like I can keep a job, and I like things that are really important. I'm not impulsive at all. Like I overthink. But when it comes to simple little things like choosing not to exercise, I can very quickly just be like all in or all out.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not in that headspace here with this because of like many reasons, but it's just one of those interesting things, because taking a minute to decide like, I'm going to just do 20 push-ups Like that's kind of the decision I made, is if I ever get to that point where I'm like, because I've had a few days, and it's not been like this for months, but I had a couple days where I'm like, I do not want to exercise.
Yeah.
I was like, drop and do 20 push-ups. And that's like kind of my go-to thing. If I get in that space, I'm going to make myself do it. Because as soon as 20 push-ups are done, you kind of feel that's like the point I'm at now, where after that, I feel that kind of rush. And you kind of get that feeling of like, that felt good. I want to do more.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do, is just build in.
Well, that's what I would do with like, in a way, when I was running, or even when I do exercises, when I tell myself I don't exercise, I'm like, no, I better exercise.
Right.
If I don't do it, I'm never going to do it again.
See, exactly.
You know what I mean? So the times I tell myself I'm not exercising, and then I need to exercise because it's like, no, we're going to do this.
Right. It doesn't mean that you have to do it every day.
The days I'm not going to exercise are going to be legit days where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to rest.
Right.
And so that's what I'll do now.
There's a reason to.
Yeah. Like now it's like, okay, I don't want to do the same. I don't want to, you need your day, your muscles need time to rest.
Sure do, Jesse.
Yeah. Lift up, rest the muscles so they can do whatever they do.
Right. Rest is as important as doing something with them. So,
and so then, the next day I might do something different.
Right.
Or I'll, you know what, these days I'm not doing it these days. Like Thursdays, I think I'm going to I make my days, because Fridays I have to go to work, and I was just like, you know what?
Right.
Like tonight, I probably won't do it. Well, I was I was roller skating.
You roller skated. So you did the 70s cool guy exercise of the year.
I did roller skate. I'm gonna have a fucking blister on my fucking foot.
Yeah.
But no, telling yourself, tricking your brain, like that's it. I don't know. I started doing that when we started this whole journey.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I started to run, and then I was like, I would like tell myself to stop, and I'm like, no, just keep going.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't feel like running, I was like, no, I gotta go. I gotta go run.
Kind of set a goal in your mind.
Yeah.
So
like doing like the push-ups, that's a good way to do it too.
Well, that's my feeling. Is like it's something built in where when I feel that negative feeling, it's like something I know I can do, and it's something I know I feel good, like physically. I get. Because, like after an X amount of exercise, whatever it is, you kind of get that endorphin rush.
Mm-hmm.
If I drop, at some point it will be more than 20, I'm sure. But right now it's like 20 push-ups. I get that feeling. My muscles are sort of engaged. My chest burns a little bit, and I get that little rush through my arms. And then you stand up and you're like, okay, like I'm kind of in the mood now. The other day it didn't really work.
No, and that's the thing.
But I was also a little bit sick for a few days.
Well, I think that's normal. I think there's going to be those days where. Right.
Generally speaking, though, it works really well. 60% of the time, it works every time. Yeah. So.
Hey, it's passing.
Yeah, right? I mean.
That's true, though.
But I just think it's kind of a smart idea to have mechanisms in place to kind of.
What do they call that in the project field?
I don't know.
It's like a backup. You always have to have a contingency plan.
Contingency plan. There you go. Yeah. When my lazy ass doesn't want to do something, you contingency that shit.
Go do push-ups.
When that doesn't work, go to bed. I don't know. No, but there are days. I mean, in regular life, it's like. There are days where you just don't have the time, and you got to just deal with that.
For sure.
And I'm learning that sleep is super important. Like last night I went to bed at 11. I didn't wake up till like 8:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm. Felt good.
And because it's funny, about the time I really started getting like more health conscious, and I started hearing about how sleep was important, suddenly my energy level spiked because I was eating better and exercising. And when I was eating incorrectly and doing all the bad stuff, I slept like a baby. Probably not well because I think I had sleep apnea, but my wife didn't, but I slept.
I think he's dying.
Well.
I think tonight.
She did. There were times where she recorded me.
At least he did the same to me.
Wives are not nice, but
I don't want to see that.
Her
I don't want to hear that.
For it. It was a very sweet reason. But I sounded awful. I sound like a dying cat. But it was not good sounding.
Oh, dude, it's never cool.
But I don't know. I just went through this phase where it was harder to fall asleep. I felt like I woke up a lot throughout the night.
Dude, I'm doing that now.
Yeah, I'm just maybe getting through that. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was some like weird anxiety that came back because I didn't feel bad or weird about anything.
My sleep sucks. Like, and maybe it's just that's how much sleep I just get on average. But I average about 5 hours.
Yeah. And well, everybody's different. So maybe 5 is good for you. I know like
5
6 to 8 or 6 to 9 is like the ideal.
But there's times I just don't want to. Like, I don't wake up like, oh, I need to go back to sleep. There is times, don't get me wrong, but I hate when I wake up, because sometimes in the middle of the night I'll wake up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, and you can't fall back asleep.
No, my mind's racing. I'm thinking about a million different things.
I know one thing that works for me in those cases is to not think about going back to bed. Like I actively.
So this is what I do sometimes. Okay. I'm not even kidding you.
Good that you laughed before you started saying this.
So it'll be about 2 a.m, right? I have to go to the bathroom. So to trick myself to stay sleepy, right? I'll purposely keep my eyes kind of closed.
Okay.
Then I'll walk to the bathroom and I'll keep the door shut
a little bit while you.
Yeah, I'll make sure the door's shut. And I'm not even gonna joke. There's times I'll sit down and just go, and then I'll like be real lazy. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just I'm tired when I get back into bed.
So your brain's already active.
I'm acting tired, but
you just lay there. It didn't work.
It didn't work
Fooled
today.
Again.
Yeah. Sometimes it works.
Oh man. No, it's crazy.
But I'll fake myself like I'm still so tired.
One thing I think I noticed was I'll wake up absolutely boiling because when I go to bed, it's cold, and I throw the blanket on me. Well, all the dogs lay on sides of me. And so then I wake up about 1 or 2 a.m. boiling, and then it's like up and down and up and down. And then I switch to just like throwing the sheet over me because it's like light and it still is cold, but I need to have something on me. I don't know why.
No, I get you. But, I'm the same.
So I have that on me, and I didn't wake up like that. So... But this morning, man, I felt like I could have just gone back to bed. It was crazy.
Sometimes you need to sleep. I have a hard time when Alicia gets up before me.
Yeah.
And then she'll like leave me to like sleep.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so I get up.
See,
she's like, why are you awake?
Don't wake up.
She's like,
that's the case.
You can, I'm like, I don't know. Why are you awake? What's going on? Why are you awake before me?
Why are you worried about me being awake when you're awake?
What's
up? No.
But no, I'm trying to do that, like slow down.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
Right.
It's tough to like do that.
Yeah. What do you mean by slow down?
Just like I'm always doing something. I'm always on the go. I'm always on the go. And so like even when I go to bed, I'm still like thinking about what I gotta do.
Right.
And so by the time rolls around, it's fucking like 1:30, 2 a.m, and then I'm like, okay, turn off the TV, go to sleep, come on.
Yeah.
It's not like that all the time, but
I don't think I could make it. No, one night during my break, I did make it to like 3 or 4 in the morning. That was impressive because usually I fall asleep around 11 at like the latest now. But I was actually playing a video game, which I hadn't done in a long time. Okay.
Yeah, I actually started playing Fortnite.
Did you?
Because there's a mode where you don't have to build, which I thought was okay.
Oh, I didn't even know you built in that game. Okay.
Yeah, you like build as you're shooting and
fortresses
shot at
or something. Okay,
I don't know, but
fortresses and
it's weird.
Okay,
so I was like, because I like to get a game that I can pick up real quick. Sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been playing that.
I'm replaying GTA 5. The story mode.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go through the go-tos.
I love that game. I love that game so much. The storyline, I enjoy it.
I have not played it through yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to.
Well, teach their own. Like I know, I think you're more like fantasy based, right?
Probably
more because I'm more like the real. It's not like real, but
like that
real life.
Ghost of Tsushima, like I like that.
Yeah,
that style of game.
Yeah.
Or like adventure games, like Uncharted games. They're like the story's really. It's a really good story, but the game itself's cool because it's like, you're just jumping around, treasure hunting and shit.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why GTA 5 is like my all-time favorite, but it's just funny. The way they write it is funny, and like the characters will do things and say things in a way that it's like such a parody of real life.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's wild.
You get a crack out of it.
I do. I listen to it, especially
the radio stations. And
this
shit.
guy Michael's got this son Jimmy, and the things that he will say to his dad are just such like American kid things.
Yeah.
He's like, why do you always got it? There's like this 20-some kid living at home, and dad buys him everything. He's like, I'm messed up like this because of you. It's your fault that I don't have a job because you fucked me up, Dad. And he's like, by the way, I need like $100 to... so you're like driving him around town or whatever for this. I like it because like in the way the Sopranos did like family stuff mixed in with this crime story, they really kind of did the same thing. So you'll have missions where he's like dealing with his kids, and it's really annoying. Or he's got to pick up his wife who just got caught shoplifting or something. It's funny. It's weird. Anyway, it cracks me up.
I'm gonna have to re-download that.
That's my kind of humor, I guess.
Well, that's funny though.
Real life stupid shit.
Hell yeah.
He tells this guy who's like a white trash guy who's like super bad. Trevor. I don't know if you got to the Trevor character.
I got to the. It was like Lashonda or
okay.
She like I had to pick her up.
Yeah.
We were getting some garbage can. It was like
yeah.
Garbage.
Okay, you're like Franklin. Yeah, picking her up. So there's this guy,
she's funny.
Trevor,
some of the shit she was saying.
Yeah, I'll make it good. Well, this guy, Trevor, he's like a meth dealer. And he's all like jacked up. He's like crazy. He's insane. And he just wears garbage clothes. And he's like, there's this whole scene where they're driving from one part of the map to another. And, they have like conversations as they're driving. And Michael's telling him, the crappy clothes, the this, the that. And he's like, you are, what are they called? Shit, I'm going to forget now. What are the kids? It's like real trendy. They're like
a hipster?
Hipster. He goes, you're a hipster. He's like, what? Oh! It's a funny, stupid conversation. It cracks me up every time. It just brings me so much joy to drive around destroying things.
That is fun.
I don't know, but
that game seems long.
Apparently, it is. It's about 30 hours of gameplay, but it's enjoyable. And there's like, so he becomes like a Hollywood producer at one point, where he just has to go around beating people up to make sure movies get made. Or
I was doing one where I had to run around and I was doing. Was I taking pictures of people? I was trying to get the shot. I was driving this guy around. He was trying to get a photo.
Oh, maybe. Oh,
it's like early in the game too, but it's like has to do with the Hollywood side. Like he's a paparazzi. You're driving around a paparazzi dude or some shit.
That's right. It's one of those little like
side missions.
Yeah, the game is like chalk. You can golf in that game. I don't know if you ever golfed, but you can golf in that game. You can sail boats in that game.
I was trying to have planes. There's so much stuff you can do, and
you can hike in that game. You can shoot deer in that game. It's so much. There is a mission actually where one of the guys like illegally hunts buck and takes pictures of him to get paid somehow. I don't know why he gets paid, but I don't remember. But yeah, it's like this is a bunch of weird crap.
Yeah, it was fun. It's cool.
It's fun anyway.
But I don't know. I don't know if I got anything else.
I really don't.
I don't either. I was gonna say something earlier, but we can end it like this.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just save it for next time.
I've had a great time.
I know. We haven't done a night podcast in forever.
I know. It has been a while.
It's always morning. We're drinking
Saturday
coffee.
Night doesn't always work, but this Saturday night just felt right.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. Like I said, we went rollerblading, our roller arena.
Yeah, we were roller skating at the roller rink.
Our sons aren't
when
very good.
When they started playing Running Up That Hill, and I'm thinking like, I feel like I'm the kids from that movie.
I know.
I wish they would have played the music in Stranger Things when they were in the roller rink, right?
Like actual good music.
Didn't they do like the Tarzan song?
Yeah, I think so.
I wish they would have played that one. That one gets me going every time.
Dude, they had a couple songs that were all right, but I was having fun just rolling around.
The craziest thing, last story.
Dude, I blasted some kid on accident. And...
I almost did because he like came right in front of me and fell over, and I was like, "You're gonna die!" And I was able to move just in time. It was like a slow motion action movie. I just got right out of
John
the way.
Wick.
The older guy that works in there, he used to work back there when I was in high school. He was my English teacher in sophomore year.
Do you recognize you?
No, I don't think so. But I asked him, I'm like, did you work at Kamaikan years ago? And he goes, yeah, I did. And I go, yeah, you were my teacher. He goes, oh, yeah. What did I teach you? Social studies or geography? I go, no, English. He goes, oh, that was a long time. Fuck you then. How long was that? But
you said that today?
That was a while. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I thought it was like, yeah, might as well.
It's cool to do that. Like,
yeah.
But I haven't recognized, I mean, I live over here, so it's not like I'll run into anybody I went to high school with. Yeah. I don't think I even seen anybody I went to high school with. I don't know
if I would recognize people, like kids I went to high school with.
I wouldn't.
There were a lot of cool people in my school. Like I had no issues with anybody, but I wasn't that social, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I was there. I mean, people knew who I was, but it wasn't like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Friends with everybody.
Yeah,
everybody was nice. Everyone was fine, but
we're all Facebook friends now. But,
yeah. You know. We're not. They're like, that guy sucks.
I mean, they were cool. Like, I mean, but you know,
I would recognize there were a couple of girls that ended up going to my college, and I would recognize them. I think if I saw them, but that's about it.
Oh, don't tell Blanca that.
I wouldn't recognize them for anybody. What?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
I can't see.
Bye.
I know. All right.
Anyway,
well,
all right.
You guys have a good night.
Hey, enjoy,
have a great week.
Yeah. Maybe you'll listen to it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And relax with your coffee.
Yeah. Right. I'm sleeping in.
Yeah.
I probably won't sleep in.
I probably won't either, but hey, it'll be a relaxing morning.
I know.
All right, guys.
Later.
See ya.